right, everyone. Good morning and welcome to Remarkable Morning. And on three, one, two, three, we say ready. So, one, two, three.
I'm
Ready.
ready.
Ready. All right, awesome. All right, well, welcome, everyone. So happy that you're able to join us today. And today, you know what we're going to speak about? We're speaking about something that happens to all of us. We're having a perfectly good day. Breakfast was good. The kids cooperated. I'm feeling really productive. You're thinking, okay, today might actually be my day. And then you get the email. You know the email. The one that you had to read it twice, maybe a third time, just to make sure what they really said isn't what you think they said. Or maybe that file that blew up. Maybe someone says something that catches you completely off guard. Maybe you made a mistake. Maybe you get disappointed news. Maybe someone sends you a message that somehow manages to change your blood pressure in 12 words or less. And suddenly, 5 frustrating minutes are trying to hijack the next 5 hours. Have you ever noticed how fast our brain does this? Something goes wrong at 8:07, and by 8:12, your brain has already written the headline. Well, apparently today is a disaster. Really? The entire day? We're giving 5 minutes way too much authority. Because here is what I want you to remember: a bad 5 minutes does not deserve ownership of your entire day. The moment happened. Maybe it was frustrating. Maybe it hurt. Maybe you were embarrassed. Maybe you were angry. Maybe you wanted to respond to that email with the first thing that came to your mind. And by the way, that's exactly when you should probably not hit send. But that moment does not get to decide what happens next. You do. And one of the greatest skills we can develop isn't avoiding those difficult moments. That's impossible. It's learning how to recover faster, not ignore it, not suppress it, reset it. There's a huge difference. Resetting means I'm going to deal with what exactly needs to be dealt with, take the lesson, and then intentionally choose what happens next. Because most of the time, the event itself isn't what ruins our day. It's the replay. Think about that. You received a difficult email at 8:15. It takes 30 seconds to review it, but then you think about it at 8:30, again at 9 o'clock. At 9:15, you call or you message someone and you tell them about what happened. At 10 a.m., you're writing the imaginary response that you should have sent. By 11 o'clock, you're analyzing the punctuation. Why did they put a period there? Why did they use capital letters or an exclamation point? Was that an aggressive exclamation point? And suddenly, a 30-second email has been living free in your head for about 3 hours. The email ended at 8:15, but you kept renewing the lease. There is a part that we can change. And sometimes the hardest part of a difficult moment isn't what happened, it's how long we continue to carry it on our back. There's a great analogy about holding a glass of water. If you hold the glass for 1 minute, no problem. If you hold the glass for an hour, then your arm starts to hurt. If you hold on to the glass, it eventually becomes absolutely unbearable. Did the glass get heavier? No, we just held on to it for too long. Stress works exactly the same way. Frustration works that way. Resentment works that way. The event may be real, the disappointment may be real, but we get to decide how long are we holding on to it. And resetting doesn't mean you're not allowed to feel it. Of course you are. We're all human. If you're disappointed, feel disappointed. If you made a mistake, you own it. If somebody hurt you, we acknowledge it. But here's the question: how much of your day does that moment actually deserve? 5 minutes? 20 minutes? An hour? Because it probably does not deserve the next 8 hours. And here's another powerful thought. One difficult moment should not get access to every person you meet after that moment. Think about it. You received a frustrating email. 5 minutes later, your phone rings. It's a client. They had absolutely nothing to do with that email. What version do they get? You have a disagreement at work. Then you go home. Your family didn't cause it. What version of you meets them? You make one mistake in the morning. Do you spend the rest of the afternoon questioning every single decision that you make? That is how 5 minutes becomes 5 hours. We carry that one conversation into the next and then the next until we no longer are reacting to what actually happened right now. We're reacting to something that happened 3 hours ago. So today, I want to give you a few practical reset techniques. One, ask yourself, what does this moment require from me? This is one of the best questions you can ask. Not, why is this happening to me? Not, who can I go and tell about this? Not, how many different ways can I replay it before lunch? Instead, ask, what does this moment require from me? Does it require an apology? A phone call? Do I have to fix something? Do I ask a better question? Maybe I need to learn something. And sometimes it requires absolutely nothing. Sometimes the correct response is simply let it go. Do whatever the moment requires and stop carrying what it doesn't. The second tip is use the 10-to-1 reset. This is one of my favorites, and I have taught a lot of mortgage people about this. When you feel yourself getting emotionally hijacked, slowly count backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7. Counting backwards requires more concentration than counting forward. Your brain has to switch gears. And somewhere around number 4 or number 3, you start separating yourself from that emotion. By the time you get to 1, you're usually thinking a little more clearly. And sometimes you've even forgotten what you were ready to be angry about, which by itself may save the rest of the day. Number 3, change your physical state. Your mind and your body are connected. Move, stand up, go for a walk, get a drink, change the room you're in, take 5 slow breaths, I always have my cell phone next to me, not just because it might ring for a client. I'm always listening to some type of music, some type of background acoustic playing music to be able to have me concentrate, and it keeps me calm. Even 2 or 3 minutes of moving around or listening can make your brain give that signal, we're not staying in this state. And number 4, separate your fact from your story. Ask yourself, what actually happened? And then ask, what story am I adding to it? The fact might be the client hasn't responded yet. The story becomes, they must be mad at me. They must be taking their next deal somewhere else. I've lost the deal. Nobody likes me. Oh my God, I'm never going to get another family to serve. Whoa. All we know is they haven't responded yet. Our brain is an incredible storyteller. And unfortunately, our brains like drama. So separate the facts from the story. The next one is win the next moment. This may be the most important one. When something goes not your way, don't try to rescue the entire day. That's too big. Just ask, what can I do in the next 10 minutes that moves me forward? Do something you can control. Pick up the phone and call someone. Help a teammate. Finish one task that you can check off. Send a kind message. Solve one problem. Take one positive action. You don't have to win the entire day all at once. Just win that next moment, then the next one. And this is why I love that idea. Every hour is a reset button. If 8 o'clock didn't go well, guess what? You got 9 o'clock. If the morning didn't go as planned, you still got the afternoon. If yesterday was difficult, you woke up today with a new opportunity. Sometimes we give the beginning of the day way too much power. We decide by 9:15 what day it's going to be. Think about how crazy that is. Imagine reading the first page of a book and deciding, well, I know how that's going to end. No, you don't. There's still chapters left, and the same is true for today. One chapter that wasn't so good does not make a bad story. And 5 bad minutes don't make an incomplete or incorrect day. This is especially important for those of us who deeply care about what we do. Because when you care, you can be incredibly hard on yourself. You miss something and you think, I should have known better. You lose an opportunity and you say, I blew it. You have a difficult conversation, you replay every sentence. And here's the question I want you to ask yourself. As I'm reflecting, am I reflecting or am I punishing myself? Those are two very different things. Reflection should sound like, what can I learn? Punishment says, I can't believe I did that. Reflection creates growth. Punishment creates paralysis. Take the lesson, leave the punishment. And maybe that's one of the best definitions of resilience. Resilience isn't never getting upset. Resilience isn't walking around pretending everything is perfect. Resilience is, how quickly can I come back? How quickly can I recover to my perspective? How quickly can I choose my next action? You may not control the moment, but you absolutely can influence the recovery. So today's challenge, the next time something frustrating happens, and something probably will, because we're all spending our day with other human beings, say, this gets me 5 minutes, not my whole day. Feel it, learn from it, and then ask, what can I do to make this day better going forward? Maybe call the client, help someone, solve the problem, count backwards from 10. Maybe you simply decide the next person I speak with, I'm going to give them the best version of me, not the leftover frustration from someone else. That's your power, because you don't need to save the whole day all at once. You just need to choose the next moment, and then the next, and then the next. And before you know it, your day is almost handed over to one frustrating moment to an absolute remarkable day. So remember, 5 difficult minutes are 5 difficult minutes, not a difficult day or a difficult life or a difficult week, and definitely not permanent. The moment doesn't decide what happens next. You do. Every hour is another beginning. Every conversation is another opportunity. Every choice gives you another chance to change the direction of how it's going to end. So take the lesson, drop the glass, count backwards from 10 if you need to, go win the next moment, and let's make the rest of our day absolutely remarkable. Wishing everyone a fabulous day, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Have a good one, everyone.